possible to focus both on me and the road, but I just don't feel the same way. I think we should spend time away from each other when you're driving. It's for the best.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
November 18th through the 22nd is American Education Week. It's a wonderful opportunity to celebrate public education and to honor individuals making a difference in ensuring that every child receives a quality education. I'm Tim Royers, president of the Nebraska State Education Association, and on behalf of my teaching colleagues, I want to thank Nebraskans for supporting your local public schools. Together, we are helping students achieve and succeed.
Sponsored by the Nebraska State Education Association, aired by the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
I think it's just vapor.
Vaping is safer than smoking, isn't it?
There's really not even that much nicotine in them, right?
One vape pod has as much nicotine as one pack of cigarettes.
My kid
knows it's dangerous.
5.4 million American kids vape, and most think it's harmless. Get your head out of the cloud. Talk to your kid about vaping. Visit talkaboutvaping.org. That's talkaboutvaping.org. Brought to you by the American Lung Association and the Ad Council.
Raising little ones is a big job, and you do your best to give them a good start every day. That means making sure they're well cared for while you're apart. You work hard, but it's not always easy to make ends meet. There may be help. Find out if you qualify for Nebraska's Child Care Tax Credit for working parents. You could be eligible for a credit of up to $2,000 per child on your next tax return. Learn more at nebraskachildcaretaxcredit.org. Brought to you by First 5 Nebraska and Nebraska Children and Families Foundation and aired by the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Whether you like fishing together or fishing to get away, for the thrill of reeling in a big one, or just going out to have a good time, on the banks of your local pond, at a bend in a river, or on one of our many lakes and reservoirs, you'll always find the perfect place to cast a line, here, beneath Nebraska skies. Start planning your next fishing adventure today at letsfishnebraska.com. Sponsored by Nebraska Game and Parks, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
You can help fight deadly diseases like RSV and influenza while getting paid for your time. Velocity Clinical Research is now seeking clinical trial participants in your area. Participants can receive compensation for study-related time. No health insurance is needed to join. Find a study near you at velocitytrials.com. That's velocitytrials.com.
$93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
The Lincoln forecast for today, we'll see mostly sunny skies and it will be breezy. See an afternoon high around 58. Tonight, a chance of showers and a continuing breeze with a low near 47. And tomorrow, a chance of showers throughout the day. Otherwise, partly sunny and breezy with a high around 55. Meteorologist Kyle Fletcher from 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
As an 18-year-old, I let my mistakes kind of take over my life. I was 0.5 credits away from completing high school, and I didn't do it.
10 years later, at age 28, Jackie finished her high school diploma.
When I found out that I was pregnant, I know that I had to do something for myself if I wanted to make her a better person and provide a better life for her. My family never stopped pushing for me to be better because they knew what I could become and who I could become as a person. My support team is amazing. The educational director, my sister, and even my 7-year-old daughter has just been more than the support that I could ask for. I've been given an opportunity, and I'm just thankful for it.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
If you're a homeowner or a business owner, you have a lot of projects, and no one has an unlimited budget or time. Sunbelt Rentals makes all jobs less stressful with no need to purchase large equipment or hire a crew. You can do it yourself with rentals and everything from aerators and power rakes for spring yard work to stump grinders, concrete mixers, tile saws, and more. Check out their inventory in Lincoln, north of Cornhusker Highway on 56th Street, or online at sunbeltrentals.com.
Dance like a dad. It's a great way to make a moment with your kids. First, I hold my hands out like they're on a steering wheel. Then I look over my shoulder. Next, I put it in reverse. Visit fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
Early break. You're going to give me crap for this? I was not in the stands for the blocked field goal kick.
This is what? Like, this is what? You did the
I knew. No, this is why.
Oh, this is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Whatever you're going to say,
I knew
I'm not even going to believe.
Early break from 6 to 8 every weekday morning on 93.7 The Ticket. This is the Don't Punt Hour with former Nebraska receiver.
Throwing over the middle, completes the pass. He's got speed to the end zone. Touchdown. 45 yards.
And return specialist.
This time he beats the kicker and one more.
Demorne Pierson-El.
Only does the sideline have confidence in Pierson-El, but Pierson-El has confidence in Pierson-El.
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Powered by the Teammates Mentoring Program.
All right, welcome in to the Don't Punt Hour. Harrison Arns on the ones and twos. As always, come take a weeknight. We got the host, Demorne Pierson-El, streaming in. You guys can join in Facebook, YouTube, X, Allo, Channel 961. All great ways to put a face to the voice. And, of course, the Starter Heyman text line, 402-464-5685. You can engage that way as well. Let's bring him in on a Tuesday night. Demorne Pierson-El, how's it going?
It's going good. A lot going on, but a day closer to game day.
Yeah, a much needed day closer to game day. We were you shot me a text this morning. Shane Waldron, obviously the OC for the Chicago Bears, canned. Thomas Brown stepping in as interim OC. And I was telling you, it feels like I have to live the same brutal, gut-wrenching season 2 times over. I mean, the parable between the Husker football and the Chicago Bears is laughable up until this point. You start out great. You're one of the quote-unquote legit contenders, just to completely lose yourself midway through the season, start having offensive woes that are comparable to the worst teams in the NFL for the Bears and the worst teams in college football on the offensive side for the Huskers. And sure enough, we got to bring in an offensive consultant, and Dana Holgorsen. We just straight up fire Waldron for obvious reasons, and we bring in interim Thomas Brown to take over. I mean, we'll go with Husker football first. We won't spend a lot of time on it. And is this at all comparable to what the Chicago Bears have going on? And the fact that he said that this was a good thing in a way that it can't get any worse with bringing in Dana Holgorsen, if I'm saying that right. Do you kind of see the same story with the Bears?
Which are you saying? Which one is worse between the two?
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking for hope. Is there hope that this is a good thing for the Bears?
And you want to talk specifically the Bears or us first? Which?
Well, are they comparable? If we're even going to talk about putting them together,
I think both teams have potential. I think both teams didn't get to their potential or fulfill it in a certain spot, which is why both teams have made changes or moved in different directions. I mean, you're for the Bears, you're an NFL organization. You have X amount of. I mean, you worked probably one of the best off seasons here in a long time, holistically from top to bottom, and I mean, you've underperformed. Even with a rookie quarterback, your offensive statistics have not hit their merits.
They're the worst in the NFL by just about every other margin.
I didn't say it. You said it. The Bears fan said it. You know what I mean? So
the numbers said it. Like I can't even be biased. The numbers will just straight up tell you this team stinks on offense. All right, go ahead.
So I guess the only thing that things can go up from there. Now, I don't know exactly what. You have a freshman quarterback. Yes, you have pieces around them, but clearly the powers of what they may be were not putting people in the best position to get things done from your job perspective on the offensive side. And you got to change. I don't know if this saves the head coach's job You know what I mean? It's it eases things depending on how you all function and move forward for the rest of the season will be determined. But that whole organization, the whole coaching staff, I won't say the whole coaching staff because the defense has done their job. The offensive and head coaching job, you all are in a hot tub. You're not quite boiling just yet, but you're warming up. And as far as us on for Nebraska, a lot of hype, a lot of things to go off of, and it just hasn't caught. It just hasn't been consistently. So they're one and the same. As you see from the NFL perspective, you got fired. You're gone completely. The collegiate, you have a safety net. Satterfield is still with the team. He's coaching, tight ends. So either way, you were still getting a paycheck, but it's not total failure. You're still able to come in and do and be around the team. So we'll see. Hopefully things move better. And I don't know if it's 100% Satterfield is fired and gone at the end of this season, or will he salvage what he can with the tight ends to kind of stay on staff?
It's a great question because he's getting paid a ton of money, and I think it's 1.6, somewhere around that ballpark per year, $1.6 million. I mean, that's a ton of money. And I'm not saying it's all about the money for him, but I don't know what he's going to be willing to take the step down as just being the tight ends coach. If this is the route, I mean, to maybe salvage it, because this is a rough track record. If he does get fired, to go ahead and find the next one. But yeah, the whole Satterfield part is what makes this interesting because, I mean, what do you think his role is on the staff right now? If he's not going to be calling the plays, if he's
tight ends coach, he's coaching the tight ends between them and probably the receivers. Maybe he may help with that and whatnot, and he's probably helping the new offensive coordinator, interim offensive coordinator, new offensive coordinator, whichever title you want to give him. He's probably helping him understand what their terminology is to call the plays that he would like to call. So I mean, you're up studying and what do y'all call y'all floods concept? What do you call your mesh concept? What do you call your quick game? What's your cadence on this? I want to change X, Y, and Z up. So he's probably helping, with that. But you got a young receivers coach who is 25, 26, coaching at a Power 5. And you have a tight end room who haven't really had a coach. So he's definitely helping out, in that area more, I would say.
That is a very expensive positions coach, if that's where we're at. But I get it. Like, if you're Matt Rule, that's what you got to do. I think it's still the right move. I'm making some laughs about it here, but
my question for Satterfield, because they're going to ask him to take a pay cut. They're
yes,
going to.
Absolutely.
Do you say no and just get fired, or do you take the pay cut?
I think you take the pay cut. Like, look, because the whole reason, like, this is the tough offense to sell to the new school, that they're looking to hire you, and then they go look at the Cornhuskers. Like, at least if you can move back down as a position coach, maybe this team goes bowling.
You can salvage your career. You can salvage your career even with next year. You've had a year to study under or understand a different complexity of an offense, to gather your thoughts and get more confidence and courage, to call things and whatnot. It could be a lifeline, a life jacket that you didn't even know that you had, honestly.
Yeah, and how confident are you in Dana Holgorsen being this offensive-minded guru? We had Joel Norman in here. He's a West Virginia guy, talking about when he used to be the head coach. The fan base wasn't necessarily pleased by the result, but again, that's being the head coach. Just being offensive coordinator, how confident are you that he is?
It could turn up to be one of the. My hope, my prayer that it turns up to be something along the lines of what the Commanders have with Cliff Kingsbury. Kingsbury, college head coach or college coordinator, don't have much to say about. Loved it. Excellent. Head coach in the NFL, you know, you've probably did better than a lot of others, but to the NFL standard, I mean, you still got fired. Offensive coordinator, I mean, he might be the hottest outside of the Detroit Lions coordinator coming out of, you know, over these next year or 2 years. You know, he can kind of resubmit his hat into being, you know, again for a head coach. Hopefully, I think it's, you know, the Cliff Kingsbury 2.0 in the NFL to where things get, you know, rejuvenated. And I understand he had a whole offseason to prepare and kind of get things situated, but we've seen former players call his offense of schemes simple. And I mean, he's simply blowing up the NFL. So I'm not mad with things being simple and getting the job done. I think that would benefit not only, you know, the quarterback, I think that would benefit the whole offense and the team, because if you do your part better or just a little bit more, averaging 28 points, which I think if we score 28 points a game, I think that will be hard for opposing teams to beat us, whether that's Ohio State, Indiana. I know what Indiana was. I'm just saying it was a bad showing by us, but you know, even Illinois, we scored 28 points versus Illinois. You know, on a better day, you know, I think we walk out of that differently. So simple might not be, you know, the wrong choice. You know, it could help us, you know, move forward and kind of get over the hump.
Yeah, and that's why I keep comparing this Bears offense, this Husker offense, is like, you look at the players, and you could even argue in the Bears case, they got more star-studded talent. It's like, to me, this isn't a talent issue. We're doing something to where this is either A, overcomplicated, or B, just a bad scheme in general. And I think it's probably the first one. I think it's just overcomplicated. I don't think Satterfield's sitting there like a dummy, not actually knowing the game of football.
No,
like he's sitting there, I think, probably overcomplicating things. If I had to take a wild swing at it, that'd be my guess. Whether it's practice, whether it's just the play calls in itself, because there are some plays that work for us, and for whatever reason, we start getting cute with it. That's kind of been a theme of Nebraska football ever since we got away from Bo Pelini. Is we'll have some good drives, and then we'll do something cute, where we try to sneak something in there. Whether it's putting, and this isn't saying I don't think Heinrich Haarberg should ever go in the game, but there's times when we utilize him that just don't make sense to me. When the red zone seems like, all right, this is the time. If we're going to break him out at all, let's do it here. Mm-hmm. And rarely, if he is in there, we don't really necessarily see a ton of runs with him. If we do, it's one try and then we're off it. Well, it's not really much of a trick up your sleeve because you're putting Heinrich Haarberg in the game. People are reading run off you. So just small things like that. Which one's more likely, though? The Bears fixing their offense or the Huskers fixing theirs?
Huskers because it's easier in college than it is NFL.
I think that's fair. I would also say Huskers just because.
I mean, you got grown men out there who are mentally, you know, ahead of the game. It's different, you know, physically faster, stronger, whatever you want to call it. It's different. With college, it's a little bit more of a safety net. With things, people kind of give you, you know, have we seen, you know, some coaches get fired in a year here and there in college? I really can't say that. Have we seen coaches get fired at the NFL level after 1 year? Yes. So I think with the collegiate level, you would see that take off a little bit more before the NFL.
Yeah, with the Huskers too. Whether you like that he's there or not, Satterfield being there is definitely going to expedite the process. I mean, if you just change the door locks on him, that's tough for Holgorsen to come in there and have to take reins of the full thing. The fact that Satterfield's still there, whatever degree he's affecting this team or coaching this team, like you said, he's certainly having conversations with Holgorsen of what his vision is. And I think Holgorsen, in my wild speculation, is probably just going to dumb it down. Like, this isn't, I know some people are saying this is just going to turn into an air raid offense. No,
not this year.
No, certainly not. And even, you know, the season after, you can say that, but I would be surprised if Rule just lets it go straight to an air raid. And you can also take a bunch of shots downfield and run the ball at a pretty consistent rate. So, when I hear air raid over and over again, I guess to me, an air raid isn't simply just bombing it deep. It's
you're talking about a head coach that had Tavon Austin, probably Noel Devine, Geno Smith, Stedman Bailey in an offense. Tavon wasn't just used as a receiver. I mean, he was used as a running back as well. So it's not that he can't run the ball. It's not that he won't run the ball. With the personnel there and everything like that, will it look a little bit different? Yes. Will it maybe, 60-40, 60 throwing the ball, 40 running the ball? That's fine and dandy. As long as it looks more consistent and, we put up points and walk out of there, with a W, I guarantee you the whole Husker Nation will not care what it looks like as long as a dub is coming out of there and it's consistent.
Yeah, that's where I'm at. At this point, do we give a damn what the offense is like as long as it produces a win? No, I don't care what scheme it looks like. It can be the Army, very mundane, which some would argue it's not mundane. It's beautiful football to watch, but I'll take the Army where it's 12-minute drives down the field. I don't care as long as it produces points and enough points for us to win ball games. But I'm not saying this is not going to turn into the air raid offense that all we're going to do is be throwing the ball around the yard. Like we'll probably take some more shots, but there's not enough time for him to just completely change this offense to an air raid. Even if he did think he had the personnel to do so. One from the text line before we get close to our first break here. And it's a fair question. We don't talk about it a lot. And I think the reason for that is it's purely speculation, but from unknown texter 1982, the question isn't Satterfield. The question is, who will the QB coach be next year? And are you buying that? With Glenn Thomas being the QB coach that we brought him in, a lot of people said it was a great decision. And now we have some fans saying we need a new one.
Why do we need a new one?
I beg to differ. Where are you at with Dylan Rails' performance is the question. What you expected.
Has it fallen off? Yes. Is it technically his fault with it falling off? Debatable. Has the offense been sustainable? Absolutely not. Is that his fault? Absolutely not. So has he made plays with his feet, with his arm, and everything like that? Yes. Has he kept us in a lot of games and everything like that? Yes. Does the offense look different and way better than it has, the year before where the quarterback problem was the issue? Yes. The question is, we have a racehorse that is in its blocks. The blinders are on, it's ready to go, and the door is stuck. That's the dilemma. The door is stuck. Once we get things consistent, once the horse is out of the blocks and out running and everything like that, it doesn't matter. We've seen it from us being down scores outside of Indiana, us being up and finishing the game, or up and still losing the game and everything. We've seen it, so it's there. The nucleus is there. So why would you want the quarterback coach to be gone on fire? Clearly, some collaboration with the offensive coordinator and the quarterback coach will probably help. Now, if the quarterback coach takes a job somewhere else and everything like that, more power to you. You want something more and everything like that, or what you wanted is kind of not what you're getting out of it. I understand completely. Nothing wrong with that, but for him to be as successful, because he probably will be the starting quarterback of the all freshman team. Mm-hmm. You can't take that away, and it's not that the games that we've played and been into have been the reason why his stats kind of haven't been more so what they were at the beginning of the season. We've had to play from behind and kind of get back into the game, and he's been a huge reason of that. That's accomplishment of the quarterback coach, and you want to give that away? I don't think that would be a smart investment. And I'm not, a gambling man. I don't want to take that gamble at all.
1-800 bets off. Say it again. Great option for those out there. And I'm going to get back to this unknown texter because it is a good clarification and was saying that his point is essentially that Holgorsen has always been the QB coach in OC. So more out of a curiosity, does Glenn Thomas keep his job, considering the history of Holgorsen always being the OC and QB coach just about at all the stops he's been to? Do you expect his, and I guess that comes with Glenn Thomas, does he want the job? Is he looking elsewhere? If he's looking elsewhere, then it probably fits like a glove that you also let Dana take over as QB coach if he is going to be the OC, next season as well, if this thing's pan out well to end this.
Those coaches will work hand in hand. It's not like they're going to be opposites pulling in different directions. So regardless of what, if Dana wants certain things hit on, he'll tell the coach. He'll overlook it. So you'll have two coaches, looking at two different things and coming together to collaborate and produce an even better product. So it could happen where he can go somewhere, but I don't think if you're the quarterback coach, you're necessarily not trying to do so, because if you do that for another year or two and Dylan becomes what he's supposed to be, or what his track line is to be, first round talent, second round talent, leading Big Ten, XYZ, whatever you want to put in there and everything like that, that's going to fast track his career. So if I'm him, I'm not so sure I want to kind of jump ship unless it's the right opportunity. Why not this opportunity? Everybody's going to have their eyes on you. As much as people, Nebraska's not relevant and everything like that, you're still getting talked about week in and week out in college football. So your work is going to be under a microscope. So why not have your identity, DNA, a part of that, unless you just want more control with being an offensive coordinator and the QB coach.
Yeah, and to kind of wrap this thing up, as we wrap up this first segment, I gotta say this: have you watched the spread at all continue to climb? And I don't know if this is USC announced that they're going to bench Miller Moss and they're going to start their transfer, I think it's a 5-star transfer over from UNLV, Jaden. It's up to 9.5 now, and one of my favorite things to do. USC, yep, they're favored 9.5. It was started about 8.5 is what I believe was the start, and it's up to 9.5. I don't know if that's about a week ago they announced benching Moss for the transfer from UNLV, but the line keeps moving up. And one of my favorite things to do before we play the opposing team that week is go listen to their local sports radio to hear what their takes are about heading into the game. Mm-hmm. Speaking of Nebraska not being respected yet, they're talking about Nebraska as a tune-up game before they get ready for the real rivalry versus UCLA. So again, it just puts it into the atmosphere. We got to do something. Otherwise, nobody's going to respect this Husker team. And now the spread's 9.5.
I think people don't respect the offense. People don't respect the flair, the things that catch your eye and the sparkly toy. So,
momentum plays, really. I mean, we just had lacked those all season.
I think it's from that perspective. But when you look at it as a holistically a defense, man, they better strap up and make sure they wear their butt pads, because it's not going to be an easy day. It's not. USC is not built like that defensive wise, for one. Two, your offense have been sputtering. You were supposed to win certain games and you lose. So if anything, you can play a reverse card, and this could be a tune-up game for the rest of our season, honestly.
That's kind of where I'm at. I was a bit surprised to hear some of the other local USC sports takes really talking about. I mean, the confidence level for USC is very high heading into this game versus Nebraska.
I don't know why.
If you're a USC fan, I can see you're like, okay, I like my chances here. But I mean, it's pretty sky high, and it's been a little bit surprising. And I agree with you. USC is 2 games away from going bowling. Like I know we've lost a bunch in a row here, but USC has not had a good season. And like you said, they've lost to teams they should have not lost to. They've fallen from grace in the AP poll. Obviously, they have no shot to do anything other than go bowling this year. And this is a game where I'll give Nebraska this credit, despite all the crap that's been going on. Here we go again. I do think this team is not going to give up. No, I think they came back, especially those guys on the defensive side. There's no way in hell those guys came back to win 5 games. So I'm not going to hear any argument that it's over. It's a miracle we win one of these last 3. Is it a possibility we go 0-3? Yes, but to call it a miracle is far-fetched, especially what we've seen in the Big Ten. Anybody can beat anybody. It's just if our guys are going to want to show up that day. With that being said, we'll put a pin on it. Don't Punt Hour with the morning Pierson-El. We got a couple more segments on the other side. Again, 402-464-5685. You can join in. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Constructors is now hiring for all positions, with laborers starting at $23 and up based on experience. Constructors has immediate job openings for laborers, mechanics, bridge builders, operators, and drivers. Start your new career today. Constructors offers great pay, health, dental, and vision insurance, paid time off, paid holidays, and so much more. Join the crew today and be a part of Nebraska's oldest paving company dating back to 1908. For a complete list of openings and to apply online, visit constructorslincoln.com.
Now that Halloween is over and you're gearing up for Christmas, it's time to head to Tailored Life in Bennett to get ready with local shopping. Make the short drive down Highway 2 for tons of items for your home for both indoors and outdoors. Check out their variety of Christmas trees in all different colors. Plus, many other fall and winter holiday items and landscape lighting to enhance the outside of your home. Don't forget their home goods for indoors, plus convenient drinks and snacks, most of which are produced locally. Visit Tailored Life today in Bennett and stay tuned to their Facebook page at Tailored Life 360 for food truck events coming up.
Mulberry Barbecue is the answer to all your lunch and dinner cravings. They have everything from smoked turkey sandwiches to brisket burritos to burnt-in sandwiches and pulled pork. Try a dinner plate option of barbecue nachos, a half-smoked chicken, a full slab of ribs, and so much more. Don't forget their great sides like mac and cheese, cheesy potatoes, barbecue beans, or red slaw. Mulberry Barbecue, open Monday to Saturday from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. at 11th and Cornhusker Highway.
Empower a child today with the Teammates Mentoring Program. Hope is only a conversation away when you choose to share your talent, time, and heart with a child. Together, you can build a relationship based on strengths and chart a brighter future, 1 week at a time. Find out how you can be a mentor by visiting LincolnTeammates.org. Become what you needed as a kid by joining the Teammates Mentoring Program today.
This is James Harrell with NP Dodge Real Estate. When I became a licensed realtor, I wanted a brokerage that would help me grow in my new career. I found that in Lincoln First Realty. When Lincoln First was acquired by NP Dodge, the training and support I received only got better. I love knowing I have the power of the NP Dodge brand behind me. I would recommend NP Dodge to new agents looking to jumpstart their real estate career and to current agents who want to take their business to the next level.
Expand your career with NP Dodge. Call Eric at 402-434-2222.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Coppell Chevrolet GMC, wanting to thank you all again for your continued service. November is off and running. Check this out. Get up to $12,000 off or 0% financing on select new vehicles. We have great lease specials with new Trax and Trailblazers starting at $299 per month and new Blazer EVs leasing for $399. Great payments, discounts, and of course, 0% financing. So make that short drive down 144th Street or check us out online at CoppellCars.com. You'll be glad you did. All finance with approved credit, leases with $2,500 down.
At Union Bank, people don't have your money. Your money has people. First home people, investment people, people who answer the phone and your chats, dream car people, dream retirement people, driving your dream car in your dream retirement people, small business people, credit card people, and all the other people you need. At Union Bank, our people help you do more than you dreamed possible. So stop in and say hello. We can't wait to see you. Union Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
You have a big investment in your farming operation. Let Landmark Implement help you get the most out of your equipment by investing in pre-season service inspections. Let our John Deere trained and certified technicians provide you with a complete list of repairs that will help your equipment perform better and deliver maximum performance. At Landmark, buy 3 equipment service inspections and get the 4th free. Contact your local Landmark service manager for details and experience the Landmark difference.
You never think cancer will happen to you. I smoked for over 40 years. My doctor recommended that I get annual lung cancer screening. They were able to catch my cancer at stage 1. It's never too late to quit. Even if you're still smoking, you need to ask your doctor about annual lung cancer screening. Just 30 minutes a year could save your life.
Call the Nebraska Tobacco Quit Line, 1-800-QUIT-NOW, 1-800-784-8669. Paid for by Tobacco Free Nebraska. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
93.7 The Ticket is proud to provide listeners with daily opportunities to win contests and prizes on our airwaves, and would like to take this opportunity to remind you of a couple rules. All participants must be 21 or older and must wait 30 days after winning a prize before participating in another contest. Once you win, you have 30 days to pick up your prize at the K&TK Studios, 1040 O Street in Lincoln, or your prize will be forfeit. Thank you for participating in our contest, and thank you for listening to 93.7 The Ticket.
Early break.
You're going to give me crap for this? I was not in the stands for the blocked field goal kick.
This is what? I did what? You did the
I knew.
again?
No, this is why.
Oh, this is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Whatever you're going to say, I'm not even going to believe.
Early break from 6 to 8 every weekday morning on 93.7 The Ticket. This is the Don't Punt Hour on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Powered by the Teammates Mentoring Program. Here is your host, Pierson-El.
All right, welcome back into the Dumb Punt Hour. Harrison Arns on the ones and twos. As always, the morning Pierson-El streaming in on the streams, Facebook, YouTube, X, Allo, Channel 961, as well as 402-464-5681. Started human text line. Good morning, Pierson-El. I want to switch it up here. I want to talk a little bit of NBA here. And I want to start with this one. I'll ask you this. Who today, in your mind, is the best player in the world in basketball? There's a correct answer. And you got to unmute yourself, too, before you give your answer here.
The best player right now. I would say Joker.
Okay, thank you. That is the correct answer. Is there anybody that comes close to that, though? Because I really don't think anybody's in his atmosphere.
I think people have potential. But
we all have potential.
I mean, when not looking at it as a resume type situation, I think so. I think Anthony Edwards, for like the time that he's been in Minnesota and the stuff that he's done, I think absolutely like you can put him in that category. Who's chasing
up and comers for sure? Yeah, I'd put him in there. SGA just gets better and better too. Yeah, I don't think he's not as good as Jokic yet, but I mean if I had to pick a second guy, he's probably up there above anybody else.
He's up there. I mean, Tatum is a face of the NBA. Like you have to respect what he's kind of done a lot more, regardless of whatever it's been. LeBron is on the decline, but you still have to respect it. It's still LeBron.
It's a very subtle decline as well.
He is a force to be reckoned with. Like it's not, is he the dominant? Is he Miami LeBron? Is he Cleveland and second go around LeBron? No, but he's probably top 5.
Yeah, I would. If he's not 5, he's 6, but I'd say that's safe. I mean, I'd be really scrunching to find someone to put him over. I mean, Jokic.
Who's the 5?
I'm going through it right now. I mean, he's who's better on that team, LeBron or AD?
They both will be in there. Like you can't. It's like 1A, 1B. Now it might be 4 and 5.
That's what I'm saying. AD might be 5 and LeBron might be 6. That's kind of where I see those guys.
I mean, you got that with things.
Luka, I will say this much. I do not know where Luka fits in the mix at all. Phenomenal player.
He's not top 5. He's not top 5. I would say top 15 probably. Arguably top 10.
Yeah, I'd say he's probably top 10 for me.
I told you.
Still got Giannis.
Him and James Harden are the same player.
Yep. Show up out of shape, take a lot of threes, have some good runs, and then things flame out, especially
you can
at the postseason stretch.
Devin Booker, I think, is climbing the ladder because he's shown us that he can play defense clearly with the stuff in the Olympic trials. I think a lot of people forgot what he kind of did in his role at Kentucky and the type of player he can be with what he had to do with the Suns. But he can definitely be a two-way player night in and night out if he doesn't have to do all the scoring and everything like that he has to with his team.
Yeah, that's fair argument. I can live with that. Luka is just it's very.
I don't like Luka. I'll say it. I don't care. I don't like him.
It's the style of play for me. And it's not that he's a bad player, but I've said this point before. When you have that style of play where you're very ball dominant, it becomes very easy to stop you in the postseason. When everything's got to flow through one guy, if you can shut that one valve off, well, then you got a great chance of winning that series. And you could say, but they got Klay Thompson, they got Kyrie Irving. Kyrie Irving is probably the best move they've made because he can just hit a switch and take over at times. But to me, it's still not an ideal situation. The best version of Kyrie Irving was him playing off LeBron, not LeBron deciding to turn it off and just give it to Kyrie Irving because he's going cold. It was just good playmaking between the both of them. With Luka, a good playmaker, but I think he can get to that elite level still. But as I want to make this argument just to begin with, because when you look at just the leaderboard right now for stats, for points, you got Jokic at 4, who this season's averaging just at 30, 29.7. Assist, he's leading the league in assist at rounded up to 12, 11.7. Then you go to rebounds, which I'm not surprised they have these in here. Let me go pull the rebounds up as well, because I know he's in that leaderboard. He's number 1 with rebounds at 13.7. I mean, that's insane. 30 points, 13 rebounds, 12 assists a game. I mean, he's on pace to have the triple-double year where you average a triple-double like Russell Westbrook did. Does he continue this as the season goes on?
They train different. They wrestle bears. They're different over there in Serbia. We seen how far Serbia went. So with him conditioning and keeping things up, I think he's just doing this for fun. Like, I absolutely think he can absolutely keep it up. Like, I don't think he would lose a night of sleep doing it. If he really wanted to and really had to, like, he can. But he has so many weapons around him to kind of he can have a chill night or have a chill month and be fine.
Just it's silly. And this is why I will bang on the table and shout and scream until the world officially recognizes that Jokic is the best player in the world. Yeah. Hands down. There's not a guy that can do, and it might not, probably the last build you would pick to be the best player in the world outside of the height, but he's just got the touch to it. And like you said, it's always looks very effortless for him. You don't ever see him like super out of breath. You even in playoffs will see him being the guy who runs up and down the court and pushes the ball more than anybody else. Like, he is, whatever he's doing in the offseason, like hanging around the horse tracks, it's working for him. Because I think a lot of people
he doesn't look like he should be doing what he's doing, and yet, like, you're not stopping him. Your 3 isn't stopping him. Your 4 isn't stopping him. Your 5 isn't stopping him. And he keeps going and going and going, and there's no end to it. Oh, I'm outside of the paint. He can shoot. Oh, he can bring the ball up the court. Oh, he can run, the fast break. Oh, he can post you up and has A, B, and C, poster moves and whatnot. He can, turn a corner, drop a shoulder, and dunk on you. Like, whatever you want him to do, he can do. He can set up his teammates to where he's not even in position. It looks like it's unathletic, but it's athletic. It's annoying. It's crazy.
It's the athleticism that doesn't show up on the test.
Oh,
like you'll see it, like you'll notice it with him. It's if it's a bad pass, he'll do this weird tip where it's like hand-eye coordination's unreal, where he'll make a nice little flick so that ball will land where he needs it to, so he can quick make the move that he has pre-planned in his head.
Jake from State Farm. He's always there. It doesn't matter. Like, it's annoying. Literally, like, it's crazy because you look at him and it's like, bro, like, it shouldn't look like that. Look, it looks awkward. It looks unathletic, but yet it works every time.
It's like you said, the shot.
Every time.
The shot. Let's play a fun game here. What do you think he's averaging field goal percentage on the year? Because people say, well, these stats, they're not that great. He's probably taking a bunch of shots. What do you think?
I'll probably say like for the year, shot at 65.
Nope, 56, which is pretty good considering the role that he plays. You'll take 56% above 50. Give me the 3-point percentage. And this is not, he's not taking any threes. He's taking about 4 threes a game. What do you think his 3-point percentage average is? This is your center.
20%.
He is shooting 56% from 3 so far this year. Taking about 4 of them a game, shooting 56% is the same as his field goal percentage. To your point, this guy can literally do anything. What are you taking away? And then, if you want to try to foul him, given the fact that he's shooting 56% from 3 this year, he's shooting 85% from the stripe.
From free throw.
So, what are you going to do? He is one of the most...
He is a locomotive engine. He's built for it, and it's crazy. Like I said, they found one with him, and they definitely built and put pieces around him. And I like what Denver's doing. They're going to be a tough team.
Yeah, and I like how they've just trusted their coach and not panicked every time they don't get the results they want. It says something when you have continuity, especially in the NBA where, go look at the Milwaukee Bucks, right? They fire, who knows where they get Doc Rivers in there. Whatever you thought about Doc Rivers, when you have a revolving door, you don't always get better odds. And the Bucks, what we don't have time to talk about it on this break, having just one of the worst starts that you could ever imagine. But it does spell good for Giannis Antetokounmpo sweepstakes, and maybe he could be a Chicago Bull. But there'll be a lot of teams in the race to get Giannis if that move decides to be made. But that's going to do it for this segment. We got one more Dumb Punt Hour with the host, as always, the morning Pierson-El. We'll talk to you in a little bit.
Big box stores are tempting for buying equipment for your high schooler in sports or for yourself in your sports leisures. But buying new is awfully expensive. Why not go somewhere with new and used options? Play It Against Sports has quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And it's more than baseball, softball, and golf. They also have equipment for disc golf, fitness, hockey, and more. Plus, they're always buying products. Bring your gear you're done with and get trade money on the spot. Play It Against Sports at 48th and Vine.
The Locker Room with Chancellor Brewington and Mikey Daniel.
Raiola and Holgerson, I'm sure, have had plenty of one-on-one meetings. We're going to close the door behind us, and I'm going to say, hey, what did you like from this offense? What did you not like? Raiola knows at the end of the day what's really going on with this offense. To be honest, that's what needs to catapult this offense. And this whole team is Raiola's play. Sat's philosophy and Raiola's philosophy or Raiola's skill set just didn't match. I think this is going to match Raiola, and it's going to allow for his skill set to come out.
Looking for a financial partner that truly makes a difference? Modern Woodman is a member-owned fraternal financial services organization. We can help you plan for all stages of life, from protection to saving to retirement. We also offer member benefits, social activities, and volunteer opportunities to help your family and community.
I'm Sean Erickson, your Modern Woodman representative in Lincoln. Call me at 402-483-6515 to start the conversation.
Modern Woodman of America, touching lives, securing futures.
At Action Plumbing, Heating, AC, and Electrical, we're ready, reliable, and recommended. Water heater acting up or your sump pump on the fritz? Call Action. Summer's around the corner. Is your AC working? Are you sure? Call Action. Electrical problems? I'm telling you, call Action. Call Action for a free same-day estimate or a trusted second opinion. You heard that right, a free same-day estimate. 402-423-6960. ActionLincoln.com.
At Farm Bureau Financial Services, we strive to provide you with the right coverages for all your insurance needs by taking the time to meet with you and review what coverages best fit your needs. So whether you're in the market for home, auto, farm, business, life, or a combination of any of these coverages, we can help with making sure you, your family, or your business have the right coverage based on your individual needs. If you would like to review your insurance needs, please contact Ben Spurt with Farm Bureau Financial Services at 402-217-9945 or through email at ben.spurt@fbfs.com.
Now that Halloween is over and you're gearing up for Christmas, it's time to head to Tailored Life in Bennett to get ready with local shopping. Make the short drive down Highway 2 for tons of items for your home for both indoors and outdoors. Check out their variety of Christmas trees in all different colors. Plus, many other fall and winter holiday items and landscape lighting to enhance the outside of your home. Don't forget their home goods for indoors, plus convenient drinks and snacks, most of which are produced locally. Visit Tailored Life today in Bennett and stay tuned to their Facebook page at Tailored Life 360 for food truck events coming up.
This is former Husker and NFL linebacker Jay Foreman. For years, I've suffered from degenerative problems in both of my ankles, but thanks to a thorough and thought-out plan provided by Advanced Medical Imaging, I was able to get my life back with the least amount of pain as possible. While working through multiple options, the team of physicians at Advanced Medical Imaging were there to answer any questions I had. If you're experiencing any pain at all and want to get your life back, go to amimaging.com or give them a call at 402-484-6677. Advanced Medical Imaging, located at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard.
Midwest Bank is hosting our annual Thanksgiving food drive, partnering with local Lincoln schools to provide Thanksgiving dinners to families in need. We hope to provide meals for more than 120 families in our community this year. You can help by dropping off a donation at either Midwest Bank location, 7001 Pioneers Boulevard or 2655 Jamie Lane. Any donation is greatly appreciated. Your community, your bank, Midwest Bank, member FDIC.
Hi, it's Joel Norman, the voice of your Lincoln Stars hockey team. Tune in to 93.7 The Ticket to hear the latest on the Stars with myself, head coach Rocky Russo, and special player guests.
Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits is your place in North Lincoln to go for all your needs in wine, spirits, and beer. They also have a large variety of cigars in their walk-in humidor, and they have a top-notch walk-in, temperature-controlled, high-end wine bar. Plus, you can enjoy free samples from their tasting bar. There's only one place to go for all your needs for wine, beer, spirits, and cigars. Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits on North 27th Street in Lincoln.
This is the Don't Punt Hour on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Powered by the Teammates Mentoring Program. Here is your host, Pierson-El.
All right, welcome back in. Don't Punt Hour. Harrison Arns on the ones and twos. As always, the morning Pierson-El, the former Husker, streaming in. Shout out to Teammates Mentoring for sponsoring pretty much all of our weeknights programming here. Definitely check out their website. Sign up to be a teammate. Do a lot of great work. Wrapping things up here at the morning Pierson-El. I want to do NBA. Is it a fluke or is it real? And we'll start that with the Bucks because we wrapped up talking about the Bucks there to start. Okay, so 2-8. You're saying they come roaring back, and that Giannis is going to end the year being.
Oh, real? No. That ship is sailed. No.
Okay, so that's real. They're just bad this year.
Yes, they were bad last year. It's not going to happen.
Yeah, I agree with you. I'll sign up for that one. Now let's go to the cream of the crop. The Cleveland Cavaliers are sitting here at 12-0 still. Last time we talked about the Cavaliers that are 8-0. Now they're 12-0. Is this team legit or is this a fluke?
No, I think so. You know, they were gelling really well last year. I think they won 2 playoff series, if I'm not mistaken. I think they beat Orlando, and
yeah, because they lost to the Timberwolves. No, who did they lose to? They lost in the second round, I think. Actually,
did they lose to Boston?
No, because they're
New
on.
York? Maybe the Pacers. I don't know. I can't remember, but. They got to the second round. Donovan Mitchell has been a surprising something that they needed. I like Cleveland. Cleveland's going to be a menace in the East.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think it was the Boston in that second series because the Boston actually lost 1 game to the Heat, but I think they ended up sweeping the Cavs. But the Cavs 12-0 start. This is going to be interesting to see how the East continues to shape up. I mean, we could throw some other teams in the East, but they're about what you think. I mean, there's not a whole lot of surprises. Like the Celtics 9-2, the Pacers at 5-5 at 3, the Magic. You know, Ben Carroll looks better and better as the years go by. I believe it was year 3 for him. They're 5-6. The Nets 5-6. Knicks 4-5. Heat 4-5. The East is very predictable, and then of course our Chicago Bulls 4-7. That 9 spot, about what you predicted. The Bucks are the biggest surprise, though. Certainly 2-8, horrendous start. Switching over to the West, though. the West is a nightmare to try to figure out who's the cream of the crop and who's just. I mean, they're all kind of contenders in the West. You could drop about 3/4 of the West, put them in the East, and they're very strongly playoff contenders. But I'll throw this one out to you. The Thunder just hanging on at 9-2, once again being number 1 in the Western Conference. Are you not necessarily surprised that they're good, but surprised to see them still at this extremely high level where they're right now 2 games ahead and leading the Western Conference?
No, I mean they seen what they could do last year. Last year was like a we believe type of thing. Now they have the confidence, and it's okay. They've been down this road before, so I'm not surprised with that. I don't think they finished the year at 1 though.
All right, now I'm going to give you my sad story. We'll go back to the negatives. The Pelicans. I thought this was going to be the year for them finally. I thought, man, you'll get a healthy roster. Zion's going to finally take that jump we've all been waiting for. They're sitting here at 3-8.
Somebody got the voodoo doll or something going on. I don't know what it is. It finally looked like the whole picture was coming together, and it's still early in the season. I still have faith. Hopefully, Zion, it isn't anything serious of too much significant time. But it's a struggle down there for sports periods in New Orleans.
Yeah, and I'm going to say this is fluke mainly because of the injuries. I think Jose Alvarado just got injured as well, so it's been a tough year. But if you just say that, look at this roster and like assume when all these guys are healthy, to have Zion, Brandon Ingram, DeJounte Murray, you got CJ McCollum as well, and then we mentioned Jose Alvarado. I know he's not a super popular player, but if you go watch him, he's a great defensive weapon. And then, yeah, you don't have a lot there. I do like Javonte Green off the bench, and then you do got Daniel Tice. Tice, he's not the most elite center, but he's a good center on a cheap contract.
Mm-hmm.
That roster is not going to blow people away, but you would think it's certainly good enough to get to 500. But that's just a team that has been stuck in just bad record after bad record, whether it's through injuries or just players not quite hitting the ceiling. And speaking of players, Brandon Ingram, what's his ceiling in the NBA? I was super high on him when he was drafted. I think it was, I want to say second or third overall to the Los Angeles Lakers. I thought the Lakers won big with him. And then they brought in LeBron James, who kind of plays a lot of that same position. So it took away from his spotlight. Fair enough, it's LeBron. And then when you got to the Pelicans, I thought it was really going to take off, but it's just been a pretty good player. What's the ceiling on him?
It depends. He's a supporting cast player. I don't want to say a project because you know what you're going to get, but you need pieces to kind of get that over the hump.
So we are at supporting cast. Like, you don't think he can ever be the guy, the best guy on the team, if that team's seriously going to go win a championship?
I mean, honestly, right now, he's the best guy on the team. Like, he's done that well. I think his ceiling will increase if you add, 2 more role players, a good true guard to kind of get things set up and whatnot. For instance, if he's in San Antonio, oh my God, he can turn up somewhat of like a Kawhi Leonard, because he's a 2-way player, because he's skilled at things and whatnot, and you got Wemby behind you to where you wouldn't have to do a lot. But he needs help. He necessarily can't do it all himself. Zion has been inconsistent. He's been riddled with injuries since he's came in the league. And we don't even know what exactly his ceiling is. I think, and I want to say he's a better Paul George type situation.
He doesn't have the defense though, so like I can't even say that because Paul George, especially in his prime, I mean, he was an elite defensive player. Bi, despite the length, has never
and they've had the same career. What has Paul George done?
I mean, he's got more All-Stars, probably, right? I mean, Bi's gotten some All-Stars. Defense-wise is the only reason I'll say Paul George is better. Offense, Bi's pretty similar game.
So I think he needs help. I don't think he's a one-man stopping show. He's not a Ja Morant where the Grizzlies weren't anything. You inserted Ja and they've taken off. He's not, a Brunson in New York where you've inserted him and they've taken off. Like it's not there yet. It's not that. He needs some help, and they can be possibly a deep playoff team if the right pieces are there.
Yeah. Last one for you, then we'll get out of here. This one, because they're sitting here at 12 in the Western Conference, but again, you look at the West, you look at all the teams in the Western Conference, sitting at 12 with a 5-6, just one game below 500 in a brutal conference. The San Antonio Spurs. We were super high on Chris Paul, Victor Wembanyama. I don't want to say fluke because I think this is
let him get it together. Do
you think they take off here?
Let it marinate. It's a lot to figure out. They'll be fine.
What's the ceiling in the West, though? Like, do you think they can crack into more than just the play-in? And it's not fair to them because this is brutal.
I think so. I think once they get things figured out and gelling and everything like that, absolutely.
Yeah, and like I said, they're 5-6. To get out of the play-in, you just need to get to that 6th seed. And at 6, you have the Grizzlies at 7-4. Just 2 wins ahead of them right now. We'll see how this West continues to open up. There's obviously trades that happen in the middle of the season as well. But that's going to do it for us. Don't go anywhere, though. We do got Kyle Perry, former Husker baseball player, coming up next. We'll keep things rolling here on Ticket Weeknights. DeMarty Pierson-El, appreciate it as always. We'll
appreciate you.
Tomorrow.